We got to get FP fixed, and we got to get it fixed in a hurry. Welcome back to the Dad Bod Golf Pod. It's Kyle Rush. It's Ben Taylor. Let's have some fun on this Friday. We're going to talk about the latest Bob Does Sports video that came out. It was Fat Perez, also known as Flat Perez now.
Or Fit Perez.
Or Fit Perez versus Grant Horvat, which seemed like a mismatch. But especially FP's just struggling right now, man. Yeah, he's just struggling. And the video went, I'm going to be honest, it went pretty much how I expected.
He did it to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you I watched that golf.com video, and somebody had asked him about, his swing, losing weight, did it affect his swing? And he said, no, I was always a little guy. This got me back to like my regular swing. Like I'm swinging it better now than ever before. That video drops. He goes out and just gets tanked by Grant right after the video drops.
Okay, so let's talk about that because he has lost a lot of weight, like substantial amount of weight. Like it's got to be well over 100 pounds. I would imagine.
It was at the time of that video, he was at 90. He said in the video it was 90. So he could have lost it. I mean, there's no telling when they shot that video. So he may be 10 more down. It may be 100 pounds by now.
By the looks of it, I think it was right before they went to the Internet Invitational. That's my guess.
Okay.
Like it was right before they left to go to the Internet Invitational. But he has lost a lot of weight. He's also been like working out and working on speed because they were talking a lot about speed in the video. So when your body changes that drastic amount, I imagine there is a bit of, swing change as well. Like you probably got to change a few things mechanically, but FP gets these lefts often.
Mm-hmm.
Like FP gets the lefts. Like sometimes when I get the shanks and I can't get them off me, like no matter what I do, like the ball is going.
That one time you got the balloons, everything you hit.
Oh yeah.
In the air.
So he's got the lefts. And then what you do is when you have this miss and you can't fix it, you start to overcompensate. Mm-hmm. And then you just get in a absolute mess. But I mean, I'll say he had the lefts. He did par like several of the holes to start out, but Grant birdied the first 3 holes. And then it was just like, oh my God, it's just like over. You know what I mean? And
how much of it was he pushing then? After Grant birdies the first 3, then I don't know, in that scenario, I don't think he does because he's comfortable with Grant. I mean, that would be like me and you going out and going head to head at a match. Like I don't know that I would feel uncomfortable. I mean, if I was 3 down, I may press a little bit, may push a little bit. Maybe that's what he did. I don't know. That always pressure can always cause you to do things you're not supposed to be doing.
I just don't think there's like at this point in time in their careers and with as many rounds as they've played now in the Internet Invitational, there's probably going to be a bunch of pressure that you probably don't experience very often. In the YGT, there's probably pressure that you don't experience in like one of these just random collab videos. I just think he's going through a little bit of a funk, and we've got to get him fixed. I don't know what we do, but we got to get him fixed.
Got to get him on the range is all I can say.
He doesn't seem like a range guy to me.
He's a natural drawer of the ball.
100%.
So clearly this has got to be something to do with ball placement or just coming over the top and yanking it for him to have the lefts. The left for me are pretty easy because I'm a natural cutter of the ball. So when I'm going left, I'm just not cutting. I'm just coming over the top and just yanking it left.
Left, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the drawers of the ball, I mean, I've never drew the ball. So that's all I can, like the guys that I think it's just something probably small. He seems like a guy that can fix it pretty easy. I mean, everybody's going to go wait because he lost, but that hasn't affected him thus far.
But see, there was a video prior to that. It was Bob Does Sports versus Spitting Chicklets, which I love. I love those guys, Whitney and everyone. And FP had the lefts really bad in that video too. So like this is something that's been kind of like on him.
So that's his Achilles heel.
It's always been.
Yeah.
He's a great putter, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's a great wedge player. to me, where he gets in the most trouble is when he starts snapping it off the tee. And it's really hard for him to score because he's always punching it out and then trying to chip up and putt to make par, which to his credit, he does quite often. You know what I mean? It's just, man, got the tee ball is like, if we could figure that out.
Has he changed anything? Like club wise?
The only
with him
that
losing weight, he said that he is standing more upright. So he added length to his clubs? Has he adjusted lie to his clubs?
No idea. And I don't know if, like, I don't know how like much that would matter.
No,
like,
I don't either.
In the grand scheme of things, but he's got to work through it. He's just going to have to work through it because he's a really good player, and Bob Does Sports needs him
to play well,
to be good.
To play well, or he's going to end up like that LeBron video where they're all playing bad and it just is not fun to watch.
Because, I mean, just take, for example, in the Spittin' Chicklets video, the match, they were taking a lot of Bob's drives because they're not taking Joey's drives. Let's just be honest. They were taking a lot of Bob's drives, and Bob just doesn't hit it very far. Like it's 220-ish down the middle. And it's long irons into, greens, whereas like other dudes are hitting wedges. It's just hard to make birdies. Mm-hmm. They got to have because Bob can throw a wedge up there. Joey like occasionally can throw a wedge up there. Like those guys can hit iron shots when they're closer, and you
get
who knows,
8 iron or better in their hands, and
they can make putts too. Yeah. But if they can't get off if FP can't get off the tee, they are in a world of hurt.
And FP's not like super long.
No, he's not.
And he had said that. I think that's why he's working on the speed with his new body transformation. He's trying to get stronger and trying to get it out there a little bit further so he can compete. Because that was the one thing he said that he noticed in the last Internet Invitational, because when he got paired up with guys that could actually hit it,
they're just miles beyond him.
Yeah, and he said he said it was at that point where when you're in a big group like that, I don't know if you remember this, and I'm just paraphrasing here, but he said, I didn't realize how short I was till I played with some of those guys.
Yeah.
Saw how much further they were poking it out there. And so, and that could have some, maybe that's carryover. Maybe he's trying to swing his irons like he's trying to swing his driver, and that's just not going well for him. So, again, it's a mental thing. They play.
That is very similar to me. You just nailed it, Ben, by the way. That is very similar to me as a yip.
Yeah.
I think that's when you're at that level. I mean, he's like let's be honest. He's a scratch golfer, and he can play above a scratch golf. Like he can play into a plus. When you're that good, it's probably unlikely that it's your grip, or it's probably unlikely that it's your elbows, or the typical crap that we all struggle with, like swing plane. It's probably mental. It's probably some type of yip. You've heard Wesley Bryan talk about working through the driver yips. Brad Dahlke working through the driver yips. It's just a yip right now, and those sometimes can be tougher to fix than something mechanical.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're. I mean, you've seen it on tour. Even Scheffler's had the yips when he's playing bad. It's his putter. He can't hit anything inside of 7 feet. And every other time you see
a lot of yips with putters and chipping.
Putters and chip. I'd say putters and driving, because you got guys that just can't find a fairway. I mean, you said before, when it comes to my game, you love having me on your team on a scramble because it's kind of like Bob. It ain't gonna be very far out there, but at least it's gonna be in the face. It's gonna give us a shot at some way. Yeah. And I'm confident enough. Like when I'm missing fairways, you can tell I'm like frustrated. I'm like mad because that's just not normal. And you got to wonder if FP's at that right now too. And I still go back to, okay, so if you remember where they released the pod they did, not the video, but it was a video, but the pod they did where they were discussing, where they kind of let the cat out of the bag on who was going to be on the Internet Invitation.
Yeah.
Do you remember FP saying, I ought to try to get some practice in at some point? And I wonder if that's affecting him, because he ran down.
That's a good point.
He ran down his schedule really quickly. He was like, I got this day. I got this day. I can get to the range Friday, but I got to be on a plane by such and such. I'm not going to be able to practice before we hit before they hit the course on Saturday. He's playing Saturday and Sunday and then flying back like Tuesday. Like he ran down his he ran down his schedule, and I'm sitting there thinking
it may simply be that he just doesn't have the time to grind.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have time to get on the range and kind of bang it out, you know?
And so maybe that's got something to do with it. And because people forget, I mean, he was a collegiate golfer. Like
Did he play college golf?
I think he did. I think he said in one of the things he played college golf, or at least played a lot in college. Because that's what he was talking about in that video.
Hampton Sydney College in Virginia, D3, baby.
Yeah.
Played 2 years.
And he was saying that because that's what he was talking about when they were talking about his weight, and they said, "Is that affecting your swing?" He said, "No, because in college I played at like 195, 199." He said, "And I haven't been there since college, so I've had to." It's like he said, "I've had to adjust my swing to my weight. I'd like to get back to my good swing, which was my 199 swing." And so I don't think that's an issue because he's adjusted well, because he's kind of like what John Daly said. It affected his putting more than anything with the weight loss, because he didn't have like his belly to rest his arms on in order to steady it. So I think that may have affected, but he's still putting well. I mean, it's clearly it's the lefts, it's the driver, it's the irons, and then after that, once everything becomes compact around the green, he seems to be okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Just got to get off the tee.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears really quick. Before we do that, man, shout out Primo Golf. Yes. We have a code that's still active, DadBod Golf, DadBod 15. You can get 15% off. And you guys are checking out with it, which is great. Stop giving Grant all the money. Let us have some, use DadBod 15.
A boat. He's got
instead of Grant 15 or Horvat 15, wherever the heck it is.
Yeah.
Use DadBod 15 and get 15% off Primo Golf. Show them some love. I want to switch gears. We don't talk a ton of PGA Tour unless we're basically dumping on Rory McIlroy. And this is another
opportunity.
One of those segments, but they're talking about with him, and they talked about it with Scotty too, about LIV guys coming back. And, how would you feel about that? Blah, 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 blah. And both of them had totally different answers. Scotty's was more like, sure, would love to have him back, would love to compete with him. I believe there probably needs to be some kind of penalty. I don't know what that is, but all in all, they're top level players. They would bring value to the tour, and I'd love to compete against them.
And we know who he's talking about: John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau,
sure,
Cam Smith, Joaquin Neiman, who's been playing well. I mean, that's who he's talking about.
Sure. And then Rory had a complete opposite comment. And I think, Ben, I'm going to paraphrase it, but I want you to tell me if I'm very far off. He basically said, without saying no, that they don't need to come back, he basically just said, well, did they bring value to LIV? In other words, LIV's about to go out of business. I mean, did they make LIV go like crazy? So if they didn't work on LIV, like, why are we that worried, or why are we that concerned about potential value that they could bring to the PGA Tour, because the company they just joined essentially is about to go out of business, which I personally feel like you have to be, which most athletes I think a lot of times are, you have to be so financially illiterate to think that that's the actual case. That's the way that it's just LIV didn't work simply because Bryson DeChambeau didn't bring enough value, or John Rahm or Cam Smith, all those guys you just mentioned. It's just simply because clearly they weren't as famous as we thought they were, and that's why LIV didn't work.
And their money did not take them where they thought it would. They didn't get a TV deal right away, and then it went to the WB, which nobody watches. They had courses that wouldn't let them play at certain places because they were afraid. Those courses were afraid they'd piss the PGA Tour off. So they played at courses that a lot of people were not familiar with. So there's a whole combination. Kyle, people need to wrap their head around. You can go work for a company. You can be very good at your job, but it still be a bad company to work for.
1,000,000%. We were joking beforehand. Ben, you have a list, don't you?
Yeah, there's a
So under this theory, if you have the top of the top movie stars out there, you should be able to put them in any type of movie And that movie's just going to work because that person brings all the value.
Yeah.
Marketing be damned, movie be damned, product be damned. The actor is what drives the movie, not the actual movie and everything that goes along with it.
Yeah. And I mean, we were talking about movies and you named a couple even that aren't on this list. And I even said a couple, you're like, I've never heard of that movie. One is Kevin Costner in Waterworld.
Which I love that movie, by the way. It's kind of become a cult classic.
Yeah.
But as far as movies go, it was really bad.
Oh, at the
It was
time,
a terrible movie.
Yeah. And at the time, they spent more money to make that movie than it ever been spent before. And it didn't do anything at the box office. It was awful. There's another one that I forgot. And I actually really like this movie. Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig and Cowboys and Aliens. Have you ever seen that movie?
I remember that movie coming out. I never saw it though.
I love that movie. It's great. It comes on like HBO all the time.
I mean, Kevin Costner was in Dances with Wolves,
yeah.
Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, Tin Cup. And so you're like, man, this guy can't miss.
Yeah.
And then you do Waterworld. Like, it's not Kevin Costner's fault. I thought he was great in Waterworld.
Well,
he was a muto. He could breathe air and underwater. I mean, it was fantastic.
You and I were talking. The first name you brought up, you said Tom Cruise, and I was like, yes, Vanilla Sky sucked.
I kind of like that. That kind of was a freaky movie.
It was that, but then you got the Eyes Wide Shut that he did with his wife when Nicole Kidman. That was terrible, in my opinion. And there was another one that we were that I was
George Clooney was the worst Batman.
He even says that. He says if everybody's like, "What movie do you regret?" He's like, Batman.
George Clooney is just as red hot as a firecracker as far as movies go, and like just celebrity. The worst Batman. I would rather have Michael Keaton Batman over George Clooney.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Who's the best Batman? Real quick.
Oh, Michael Keaton, the original. Really? Yeah. I mean, I like Christian Bale. Don't get me wrong. I like Christian Bale. But the original that came out in the late 90s. It was in the late 90s when the original Batman came out. Yeah, that
early
was
90s actually.
Michael Keaton did, I am Batman. That was by far that's the best.
Okay, rank them right now. Give me top 5. You got 5.
It's gonna be Michael.
You can throw Robert Pattinson in there if you want to.
Christian Bale. Robert Pattinson's the worst one in my not even George Clooney. At least I like George Clooney at the time. I'll go ahead and throw it. He's number 5, Robert Pattinson. So you got Michael Keaton, then you've got Christian Bale, you got Val Kilmer, you got George Clooney, and then you got Robert Pattinson.
You put Val over George Clooney. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I would go Christian Bale 1, Michael Keaton 2.
Then you see, then who really cares?
Who cares over that? You're right.
There was, speaking of like movies like that, because like Marvel movies and that kind of thing, I forgot about this. They redid the Fantastic Four. It had Michael B. Jordan in it, Creed, all the movies he's been in.
Oh, the dude from the new Top Gun movie was in it.
Miles Teller was in it.
Miles Teller.
And then Kate Mara was in it. And that movie just absolutely sucked.
Yes.
That thing
Nobody watched it.
No.
Nobody watched it.
The Joker 2, you got Joaquin Phoenix that was in the Joker 2, and that thing went like straight to streaming, like right out of the theater. That thing, like they signed a contract with TNT while it was in the theater. They went straight to TNT, Turner Classic Movies.
Will Smith was in Wild Wild West.
I actually like that movie.
No way. No, you didn't.
I did.
That movie was terrible.
The gadgets and all that stuff. I thought the movie was awesome.
The point is, if you think celebrity just trumps all, you're dumb. Like, you're not a smart person. The LIV experiment, although we rooted for it, was a bad experiment. They went in without an idea or a plan how to get official world golf ranking points. The scramble format was a terrible move.
Yeah.
And they never had a real TV deal. And like, when you add those 3 things in, it was never going to work.
Yeah.
And from the golfer side though, I mean, my God, the contracts, $50, $60, $100 million, like that you'd have to play many, many years on tour to and win to equal, and you just get it. Like, that's just life-changing. I don't understand why we're so mad. I don't understand the whole thing really, the whole thing kind of, I just don't really understand the animosity.
Going back to it, when it first started, I don't know if you remember when you and I were talking about this. The one reason I wanted it to start and I wanted it to be successful was because of that same dadgum attitude that Rory just had. That holier than thou attitude, where I thought the PGA Tour needed some sort of shot in the arm, which they got. By the way, Rory, you're welcome, because when LIV started, the PGA Tours changed their structure as far as pay-wise and put in these signature events where you'd make more money.
Yep.
So quit dissing the guys for leaving, because when they left for the money, the PGA
that you still get to play in and you don't have to go by the rules.
Exactly. And so I don't know why he would take that approach and still be so, I guess, against that. Because, okay, he and Rahm have got.
Let's just call it, dude. Let's just call it. Rory's become insufferable.
He is.
And I don't like to talk bad about people because you never know who could be your friend in one day.
Yeah.
But I think I'm okay if Rory and I aren't friends.
If we aren't buddies.
Yeah. I think I'd be okay with that. You don't do anything. And like, we could really, like, especially with Rory's behavior off the course, like we could really go deep on talking about character and, everything that goes. I'm not going to go into that because you guys know what we're talking about. But I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough look, in my opinion. I think he keeps losing. He keeps losing.
And it doesn't hurt him to do what Scotty did. Whether Scotty is pro-live, anti-live, whatever, Scotty was just like, be great to have those guys back. Punishment.
I'd love to compete against the best, and if they need to be punished, I'm all for it.
Yep.
But I'm totally fine if you bring them back.
I thought that was a perfectly fine statement to make.
It's a no-lose statement.
It is.
That's a statement from someone that's not emotionally an emotional child.
That's a very
the emotional capacity of a child. That's what that is.
Rory let emotion get the best of him in that answer, and he should have just moved on. Even some of the other answers where, like, I'm not going to talk about that, and it's just, dude, be better. Be a better person. Be a better representative of golf. How about that? Just be a better representative of golf. Because you're right. I think that's the best word you could have used to describe it. Insufferable.
There you go. Guys, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about FP and how he gets fixed, and then let us know if you agree or disagree with us on Rory's comments about LIV golfers.
Although, FP, get to that 199 you want to get to, buddy.
Let's go, baby. Crack 200. We're right there with you. We're going to get out of here. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll talk again soon. It's another episode of the Dad Bod Golf Pod. We're always stroking.